May I remind you that trading is risky and not suitable for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Welcome to QuantBox Daily. Today's Thursday, May 11th, but this webinar is for Friday, May 12th. I'm doing it early again because I won't be here later. All right, cool. So firstly, what is QuantBox? QuantBox is your global macroeconomic quant-in-a-box. It is a beautiful fundamental tool that gives you a fundamental bias, which you can then marry with technicals. Very important to marry things with technicals and to know what you're doing from a technical perspective. A 1 week trial is just $7.90. So the thing is, like you're saying, well, if I got technicals, why do I need fundamentals? Because fundamentals tell you where to start from. So for example, if you're looking at something like the Aussie dollar USD, and you might find that things are going up at the moment, you're not going to buy it, okay? Because you know that the overall bias is a strong sell. It doesn't mean that right now you should sell this. You can see that the charts currently are showing up. It just means that we're waiting for price to get to a level of resistance so we can continue with our bias of strong sell. In terms of the rest of the dollar pairs, we'll get to our watch list in a second. Euro dollar coming through with a sell, pound dollar coming through with neutral, USD CAD coming through with neutral, dollar yen coming through with a bias of buy, USD CAD neutral, Aussie dollar USD strong sell, and Kiwi dollar USD neutral. So basically, euro dollar, dollar yen, and Aussie. So let's take a look. We've got a dollar yen trade currently. We had a signal, it's on our watch list, right? We're saying, cool, so price comes down here and potentially goes up. And we're looking for a higher low on the lower time frame. You can see that price breaks through this resistance over here. Price doesn't test that support. Price not coming back down to any level of support. Not the most amazing volatility on this. You can see in a 15-minute time frame, you've got the 21 above the 55. Verifying on lower time frames, not the most amazing volatility. In one chart, a chance to like, it's freaking out right now. Okay, then one's not playing ball. But you can see here, like not the most amazing volatility on this. So let's have a look and see, would you have bought this? Well, the thing is that price hasn't made a higher high yet, hasn't closed this support yet. So right now, price is still on its way to doing that. And there was no way of getting in down here. You can see no higher high, higher low at the bottom here. Nothing off a roll reversal anyway. And then price all the way up here. So it's not the most amazing situation. However, price has come down to that support. We have got a bias of bullish. What I think we should do is if you bought down here somehow, I'm not sure how you'd verify that buy, then fantastic, you're in the trade. If you didn't, then you're waiting for price to come up. And our second indication of wait for the price to make the higher, pull back down, higher, low. Okay, pretty much going nowhere though. We can take a look at the daily time frame. You can see here, if I change the pivots, you can see kind of sitting at supports. You got the support down here. We've been sitting there. So I mean, on that H1 time frame or that lower time frame, you're just looking for that higher low, just an indication of some kind of bullishness. You can see that price made this low, but didn't make a low left-hand side. It's just consolidation, okay? So again, price breaking up, pulling back down to the supports, breaking up, pulling back down to these supports. Far better trade. In terms of our euro yen, you can see price broke down. You can see our little thing over here saying higher low, 21 above the 55. We never had that. Verify lower time frames. You can see you never had 21 above the 55, so you wouldn't have bought this. Same thing on the M5. So we just didn't get what we were looking for on this trade. Okay. Taking a look at the euro yen on the other time frames. So you can see here, you've kind of just broken down further. This support didn't pan out. What's cool though is then you can see like this lower high coming down, like not great. But the fact we still identified it, we still said, cool, if this does happen, it can happen. Because price coming up, coming down could have still held the support. And of course, not verifying that in lower time frames means that there was no opportunity to buy that because there was no bullishness. You can see that was the plan. Price coming down here, then going up, and that never happened. Price did come down to support though. You can see there was some indication, but there was no higher, low, and lower time frames. So we can just clear this out and just leave that alone. What do we do with this now? We just leave it. we want to wait for price to just give us some kind of indication of direction, right? Right now, it's very much all over the place. Some kind of higher low, lower high, something that gives an indication of direction, preferably a lower high off a roll reversal. You can see here, this higher low over there. That's indication of bullishness. Right now, you just got price doing whatever it's doing over here. So I would just leave that alone for a while. In terms of the other pair on the watch list, which was the, let's get this out here, Swiss franc Japanese yen. You can see here also price coming down to the support, but you never got that 21 above the 55 higher low. Okay. You didn't get the confirmation. And if you look at it in a daily time frame on this, you can see you are sitting, we broke this support. Now we're coming further down. Not liking this at all. You could continue paying attention to support on the lower time frames, but you're looking for a higher low. Okay. But doesn't look like it's going to do much for us. Looking at the dollar pairs, Aussie USD, you can see they're coming off the top of the range. Okay, fantastic. Let's have a look and see, did we get a lower low, lower high? So price came up. We had this on our watch list a few days ago. So price came up, price came down, price came back up top of the range. I was still looking at this and saying, well, if price broke out and pulled back down, could we break out again? And indeed, we closed top of the range. So pretty much all over the place, this pair. But you can see no lower lows, lower highs. No pullback to resistance, no indication of trend. I really am looking for an indication of trend, price to close some kind of resistance. I'm looking for a sell on this. You can see there, price makes this high, comes down, makes this lower high, comes down. Very much consolidating right now. So what you're looking for is looking for a pullback to resistance at the moment. So let's put this in the watch list because the bias is bearish. Let's just minimize that. And let's get Aussie dollar USD back on here. Guys, it's just, it's the market at the moment. It is what it is. We've got to just continue working hard. Don't sniff at anything. And, at some point in time, we'll be right. So until then, just verify absolutely everything. Be incredibly patient. Here's the concern. Price coming out of the support over here. Not great for this being a lower low. So I'm not going to buy this because I'm a fundamental bear, but I'm looking for price to close resistance. You can see right now price is at resistance. I can't sell this. Okay. So looking at the euro dollar. Okay, we've now broken out of this range. That's great. So now we're looking for a pullback to the bottom of that range. Let's get this range from the daily time frame over here. On H4, looking for a pullback to some kind of resistance. Okay, you can see there, somewhere there. Okay, looking for a pullback to that resistance, and that can go on the watch list. Nice. So let's pop that on the watch list. So euro dollar looking for a pullback to one of those resistance levels in line with our fundamental bias. Okay, cool. And just draw that range in there. You can see looking for a pullback to one of those levels over there. Cool. So let's go into here. All right. Yen pairs, we've looked at yen pairs. Aussie yen currently indicating neutral. CAD yen indicating neutral. Euro yen indicating neutral. Pound yen indicating a buy. Again, these yen pairs, it's kind of like there's no seasonality going on right now. There's no move up going on right now. Pound yen a buy. I'm not interested in buying up here. Price, so you're not being a higher high. If I'm not buying a higher low, I'm going to wait for structure on these yen pairs, guys. Some kind of indication of structure, okay? That's my plan with these yen pairs because they're just wasting our time otherwise. Give me some indication of trend. You see price going down to support down here, then price, it's all over the place. Let's keep an eye on them, though, because we don't want to like to suddenly forget about them. But I'm certainly not buying that pound yen. Then we look at the crosses, so euro pound. What we can do is look at something technically first because we can see volatility in the first hand. So Aussie Swissy, you can see that we had a plan to sell over here. Now we're down over here. So you can see not much structure going on at the moment. Let's look at Aussie Swissy bias. So Aussie Swissy bias coming through with a bias of sell. So you could be looking for a pullback at the bottom of this range. Why not? H1. Yeah, absolutely. Why not? Cool. Let's put that in the watch list. Aussie Swissy. Looking for a pullback to this resistance over here. 21 below the 55, pull back to resistance. Keep an eye on your H4 time frame, of course. You'd like to see a close there first and then move it down the line. But you do you. Taking a look at the next Swiss pair. Let's take a look at what we got. We got Aussie Swissy, CAD Swissy, Euro Swissy. Let's go west. So Euro Swissy. We got Euro Swissy coming through neutral. We'll leave that alone. CAD Swissy down here, coming through neutral. Cool. Kiwi Swissy coming through neutral. Okay, so right now we got the only pair that's interesting on that. In terms of the remaining crosses and stuff, let's take a look. So pound Aussie, kind of sitting in the middle of nowhere, looking a lot like the yen pairs. Not really giving us any structure. I don't like this chart. I want to see some structure. You can see, like, look at the pairs we got in our watch list. Now they might not work out. That's just the way life works. But at least we've minimized the ridiculous quality by having decent potential trades on our watch list. This is our pound CAD. That's just rubbish. This is our pound Kiwi. All the way down here, pound Kiwi coming through with a bias of sell. Okay. How would I sell that? Is that a profit taking zone? No, not going to do that. Then let's take a look. Euro Aussie, also looking like a yen pair. Just kind of like, what is that volatility? I like things that look like trends, friends. I like things that look like lower lows and lower highs, higher highs and higher lows. That's what I enjoy trading. And I just don't trade anything else. And sometimes you just don't get them. Sometimes you just have to sit back and wait. That's just how life works. If you have a lemonade stand, you're not always going to sell lemonade. Sometimes you'll have quiet days, right? All these pairs here are just doing the same sort of stuff. So I think going back to our watch list, I think we've chosen some decent pairs over here. Will they work out? I've got no idea. But we'll verify them if they do. So dollar yen, I'm going to keep this on here because we're looking for, let's just verify we're looking for over here. Let's just confirm. We're looking for a break above here or a break above here. Okay, looking for that higher high, higher low. Okay, one of those two. Then on the Oslo USD, this is so I don't like this for a sell. Okay, but we can leave this here and pay attention to it in the future. We got this over here as bullish. This is like I'm really not. This does not look like it's interesting at all. But it depends on what happens between here and here. It's very much moving around. Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of that. So again, verify everything 100%. This is my least favorite of the lot, but it's over here because we've got resistance over there. What could happen between here and there? We'll have to see, but this looks like a lot of consolidation to me. Euro USD, interesting. Pull back to bottom of the range. That's cool. Verify that lower time frames. And Aussie Swissy pull back to bottom of range. Out of all of these two over here look the most promising with verification, obviously. This over here, I don't like that support before resistance. Again, the only reason why I'm putting this chart here is because I want to see what happens between here and here. Or alternatively, if price breaks this support, can I pull back to resistance there? And of course, dollar yen, because it was on our watch list, it came down to the support we were looking for. Can we get a higher high, higher low? Can this continue going in the direction we'd like it to go in? I have no idea. But there we go. 4 trades. We'll see what happens. Remember to be patient, be disciplined, and stay liquid. I'll see you guys at the next session. Have a great day.